Hello my beautiful friends and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk to you about how to heal your gut and really how to heal anything in your body, your whole body overall. And so what I've really come to realize throughout my life is that every part of our body has its own consciousness. It is alive. Your womb, she is alive. She's trying to talk to you. She's trying to manifest things and create things. My gut, my stomach, my intestinal tract, my esophagus, everything is alive and has its own consciousness. My skin, my skeleton, everything. And so the more we can connect with this body that we have borrowed to come into this life as a soul, okay? This body came together and manifested from eons of stardust and atoms and nature and all of these things that came together to manifest and exist with you in this life, okay? And so you're really partnered, you're really together in this life. And usually when we're experiencing some sort of health issue, it's because we are not communicating with our body. It's our body's language. It is trying to talk to us through any sort of ailment or pain, okay, or something that's not in alignment. And so what I've been going through recently and had a big shift on is that a lot of my life I felt like I haven't always been in agreement with my gut, okay, my stomach, specifically my intestinal tract in this area, digestive tract, right? And a lot of people have this issue. And what I feel like is the deeper root for a lot of us, especially if you felt called to this video, then I would feel like it's in alignment for you, is that our intestinal tract has its own consciousness. Our small intestine, our large intestine, everything is connected. That is connected to your womb and your yoni, or your masculine parts. That is connected to your anus. That is connected to your kidneys and your liver, which are detoxing and shedding things for you. That is connected to your stomach and your esophagus, everything. This whole system is connected, right? They're not separate organs. We separate them with language, and so then we can kind of create this separation in our mind, but these things are all connected and are all working together. If you have an ailment in one, it is affecting everything, okay? And so anything that is happening in our gut has its own living fungus and bacteria. It's called the microbiome, okay? And so it is literally scientifically proven to be alive, this bacteria and fungus, right? And so they are living organisms in our gut that are supposed to be there. And then sometimes what happens is we can get an overgrowth or ones that aren't supposed to be there, okay? But really what's happening is our body, our gut, is trying to communicate with us. It is trying to tell us that something is out of balance. And so, yes, we could follow the scientific medical experience of trying to kill that thing and but also, and I'm not saying you don't have to do that, and also, what if we look at our language, we're not trying to kill it, we're trying to learn from it. It is actually probably there as a teacher for us. It's probably not actually trying to harm us, it's probably trying to tell us something. So when we sit and start to talk to it, what happens is, at least this is what happened for me, and this is what I think happened for lots of people that I've sat with and worked with, is that our gut, our intestinal tracts, our stomach, this whole, I'll call it the digestive system, the esophagus, everything. The digestive system usually doesn't feel safe, okay? Maybe we've spent our entire life being mad at it. Maybe we've carried extra fat around our waist, and so this can be a really tender point for a lot of people. So our whole life we've just been so mad at our waist area, which then manifests as our digestive tract. We're mad at it in a way we are feeling too much emotionally, so we try to emotionally compulsive eat and we try to numb ourselves because we're mad that we feel overwhelmed. And then we're mad that our digestive tract is sluggish. Then we're mad that it's stuck there. And then we're mad that we gain weight. And every action we take, we're mad at it. We're projecting anger and disregard. We're not trusting it. Could you imagine this living consciousness of this digestive tract that's just constantly being projected on all the things that you've ever given it in your whole life, or like that you've ever felt towards it? Like, that could definitely cause an ailment, which could then be trying to talk to you, okay? It's trying to get your attention. It's not, and then sometimes the ailment can trigger us to be mad too, and then we're mad that we have this ailment. Again, it's trying to talk to us. So what I've come to realize is that fat is actually a protector. If you've ever looked at IFS, if not, you can watch my IFS video, super powerful therapy practice. It talks about how we have the protector and the wound, okay? So the wounded part here would be our digestive tract. It is wounded. It has been negatively talked to, banished, shamed, anger projected on it, our whole life experience, or maybe most of it. And then the fat is the protective part. If you ever sit down and try to connect with your gut, especially with your stomach or any area of fat, and you start to try to talk to it, what you're going to realize is that anything underneath it actually doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel safe with you and or in its external environment. So actually the fat is a protector. It is actually, and what a mind-blowing experience to realize that this fat isn't bad. It has actually been saving my ass. It has been protecting me. It has been the thing that's making me feel safe because I'm not making myself feel safe. Mind-blowing, okay? And also, what an interesting relationship to transmute, to alchemize, okay? So if we stop looking at our fat as bad and we want to banish it or kill it, and we start to be like, wow, thank you. You have been protecting me for my entire life that I haven't felt safe in my own body. And safety in our own body can happen for a lot of reasons. It can happen because of sexual abuse or attention that we don't want from the outside. It can happen from shaming as a child, from our parents. It can happen from our own shaming, okay? So pretty much it can happen from our own shaming, which is like an internal experience, and it can happen from an external experience of parents or partners or things like this, whether you're man or woman. And so pretty much the internal body doesn't feel safe. And that's kind of what, sometimes I refer to it as the skinny body. And I think that can have a weird connotation for some people, because really when I say your skinny body, which I could also just say your internal body or inner body, what I'm saying is that your muscles, this organism of your skin, the organ of your skin, the skeletal system, all your organs, your nervous system, we'll kind of separate the energetic body, which I don't usually, but just for this moment. No, I don't want to separate the energetic body or the emotional body, because we emotionally eat. It's one system. Anyways, so when I say your skinny body or your inner body, I'm literally just talking about like everything that you were originally born with, okay? Or like that would be here if we didn't have the fat or the diseases or things like this, the ailments. So your inner body, okay, we'll call it that. And so your inner body doesn't feel safe, which the fat is protecting. So what we want to do, this is a practice, right? We want to literally close your eyes and sit, come into contact with the consciousness of your inner body, which you can also break into smaller pieces. You can come into contact with the consciousness of your gut, of your womb, of your stomach, of your digestive tract as a whole, as a singular piece. But let's just try to come into the skinny body as a whole and just kind of connect with it, the inner body, and realize how shaky it feels. Realize how unsafe it feels. Realize how it's like, maybe it feels like somebody would give it negative attention, or like too much attention, and you wouldn't be safe because you would have like a feminine or a masculine coming at you and hitting on you. And that's not like, that's an energy you don't feel safe with. Or maybe you hear someone's voice from the family that's like, you're unhealthy for some reason. You're not right. And that doesn't make you feel safe. Or maybe also you can think of all the times in your past where you have shamed that body for not working the way you want it to work, right? So just kind of sit with that and breathing into that and start to really connect with it. Make the promise that you are going to continue to connect with it. Like, I love you. I see you now. I see how much pain I've been causing you. I'm so sorry. I forgive myself. And then we're going to go into forgiving every moment in your past. You don't have to think about every moment singularly, but start to think of your whole past collectively and all the moments that you've shamed yourself and all the moments that you've been quote unquote bad in your own mind. And I want you to just forgive. Just sit there and keep saying in your own energy field. And as long as you need, I forgive you, I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive myself. And just keep forgiving that whole energy of your past, okay? And then once you really feel nourished in that forgiveness, I want you to physically stand up and take a step forward. I want you to move out of that timeline of associating yourself with your past, okay? And we want to heal that. Send that old experience, that old energy of the past, send it to the ocean, send it into a volcano, send it into the earth. The earth, just like plants, just like we breathe out carbon dioxide and plants breathe it in, and then they breathe out oxygen, we breathe in the oxygen. That cycle where like what we expel, what we would think is bad, carbon carbon dioxide and we give it to the plants. And then they're like, this is my nourishment, and they breathe it in. And then they give us this wonderful exchange of oxygen that we need, and it nourishes us so deeply. The same exchange happens with the earth. So there's a practice in the Andes in Peru from the Quero shamans that talk about, they call it huchi. I'm sorry, that is not right. That's how I remember the name of it, because huchi. But it's called hucha, okay? And so hucha is anything that feels like our negative energy or dense energy, that like black, tarry, thick energy. And that can be grief. It can be a lot of things. And so the point is that when we take that off and we give that to the earth, that is actually the earth's nourishment, just like carbon dioxide is for plants. It feeds off that, it loves that, it receives that, it wants that from us. We are in exchange with the earth energetically. And then the earth then gives us this really nourishing energy that we can bring back into our body. So don't be afraid or ashamed to literally give that energy to the earth, okay? Step out of that timeline. And then you want to focus your attention now and forever on remothering yourself or fathering, whatever resonates with you. In the sense of your digestive tract, because I'm specifically talking about the gut here, but this can work for any organ or part of the body. You want to be with it. You want to be like, I am now your freaking mother. I am going to nourish you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to make you feel safe. I'm going to tell you how much I love you. I'm going to hold you and hug you. I'm going to do everything that feels nourishing for you. Taking care of that system, do. When hunger arises, I'm going to sit with that feeling, with that emotion. And I'm just going to, maybe you want to go into it. Maybe it reveals something big to you. Maybe you're just like, I just want to breathe into it, and then it'll dissolve really quickly. But instead of unconsciously being with the different feelings of the physical body, like hunger or being full or stuffed, or these different sensations that happen in the gut and the intestine tract, just consciously recognize, oh, I'm having one of these experiences, this like digestive tract experience. And it's a spectrum, right? Sometimes we can love to feel full because we feel numb, right? But hunger is just the other end of the spectrum of that same experience, okay? It's not one's better than the other. So just when you realize, okay, I realize that I'm having this sensation, now I'm going to sit with it, and I'm just going to breathe with it, and I'm just going to experience it however long I need to. I bet you it'll take a couple seconds, max maybe like a minute, and then it'll probably dissolve, and then you'll be able to think straight and be like, and then what I like to do is take it a step further, and I tap into the consciousness of my digestive tract, specifically like my stomach and my colon and my intestines, and I'm like, what do you want to eat? Are you hungry? Do you actually want food right now? Is coffee actually helping you? Do you want this? And let it answer you, okay? It will. It has its own language. And if those answers just happen to randomly pop up in your mind, try to trust that. Start to learn how to distinguish from your mind judging itself, which can sound like noise and words, and energies actually answering you, which can also feel like words or noise. So try to practice distinguishing that. And you probably are already great at that. That's why you're here with me. Anyways, so now the last step after we've stepped out of our past, we've come to forgive all of our past selves and all the moments we've shamed ourselves, we now feel that our digestive system and our intestinal tract is forgiving us and has forgiven us. We recognize that it is afraid and scared and it feels unseen and unloved and not protected. We tell it, we commit to it that we are going to be the protector, the mother, the nourisher. We're going to love it. We're going to speak to it. We're going to keep this conversation going. And we're going to learn its language of the hunger spectrum or full. And now we want to bring it all together, all these pieces together. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit and connect with the consciousness of the fat in our body. And we're going to fucking thank it. Rub your body and be like, wow, thank you. I love you. You've been protecting me for so long. I don't want you to go away. I don't want to banish you. I don't want to harm you. What I would love, though, is to ask for you to slowly, in your own time, alchemize to be a different type of nourishment for my body, okay? And I want you to do this by being guided by my gut and my digestive tract. And once they feel safe from my constant, consistent nourishment, from me being the protector of them and telling them how worthy they are and how much I love them and how I trust them. I trust them. If I feel like my digestion is slow, or I feel like I'm having an ailment, or I feel like I'm whatever X, Y, and Z, I'm going to freaking trust you, digestive tract. I'm going to trust you. You are wise and smart. And if you need something from me, I'm going to keep asking you what you need, and I'm going to follow that, and I'm going to trust you, okay? So then I start to make it feel so safe that then it is safe being the inner me, the skinny me, and then fat, you can take the cue from it to start to slowly alchemize into another type of nourishment for my whole body. And another thing that can really help is to make it a practice of sitting with and imagining your skinny body, your inner body, and like feel its emotions and its feelings and its unsafety, and breathe into that and just like hold it and be like, I love you so much. You're so safe. You're so perfect. You're so loved. And tell your fat too, like, thank you so much for protecting me and being the protector of the skinny body. Skinny body deserves it. It deserves all this protection. And now I'm going to be the protector of it. And oh, I just love it so much. Okay. So that's how you're going to work through your internal experience. And then we're going to go one more step further, and we're going to make sure that the external is also creating safety in our reality. Okay. So something you might notice when you're sitting with your inner body, your skinny body, is that it also doesn't feel safe externally. That like, it's like, oh no, but I'm going to get unhealthy male attention, and that's going to feel awful and scary. Or I'm going to get comments from people in my family or, friends or whatever, and that's going to feel scary. And so the fat, again, needs to protect me, needs to give that inner body safety. So what you're going to do is you're going to fucking banish all of that energy. This is where we're going to step into the energy practice. Close your eyes. Feel into all that like energy that feels like it's coming at you, that makes you feel unsafe, or that maybe you're even imagining or projecting that would be like a man or a woman that's like sending you energy that you don't want, and you're like looking at you and giving you weird looks and like makes you feel gross and unsafe. I want you to use your hands, and I want you to send all of that away. You're like, nope, I banish you. I cut these energetic ties. Same thing with the family. If you feel like the family is giving you weird comments, nope, I banish. I send all of this energy away. I cut all of these ties. Absolutely not a part of this life for me anymore. And really feel that and sit in that until you really feel it gone. And if you want to, you could send it into the earth too, and then create energetic walls with it, okay? And then one more step, add nourishing energy in that space now. Now you're like, I now connect, and only ever from now on allow men into my life, or women into my life, a partner into my life, who touch my body. No one will ever touch me ever again unless they make my inner body feel, and my fat too, feel exactly the way I make it feel. They make my inner body feel safe, protected, loved, nourished, seen, heard, all of it. Like, I'm talking about like fucking a partner who literally speaks to my body, speaks to the consciousness, not to me, but to the consciousness of my gut. And he's like, oh my God, I love you. Thank you so much for taking care of my woman, And the same thing with your parents, or your family. Like, I'm calling in only to connect with the energy of family or loved ones or friends who make my body feel so seen, so loved, so supported, so nourished. It can be with words, it can be with touch, however that feels to you. But then connect with that energy, baby. Like, really feel that. And then feel it in your body. Feel how your inner body, your skinny body is like, whoa, damn, I'm like starting to feel pretty safe. Like, I'm starting to feel really seen and protected, and she's talking to me, or he, if you're a man or identify as a man, they're talking to me. And like, just keep that conversation going. Every moment that you're hungry, or you feel a digestive sensation, or you're dealing with an ailment, or you're eating food, just make that a practice to tune in and talk to it. How are you? Do you like this? Does this work for you? What do you need? What do you want? And then in the morning, if you want, this is what I like to do, make a practice whenever you're doing the rest of your practice, if you do a morning practice, or whenever you do your practice, if you do one, or if you want to add one, just take like a freaking couple minutes to sit with your inner body and just be like, I love you. I'm here for you. I'm nourishing you. I'm protecting you. You're seen. I'm so sorry for anything that I ever put you through in the past. But remember, we've stepped out of that reality. And I'm only ever going to forever love you. And again, any fat that's up on the body, thank you so much. Thank you so much for protecting this body. You're now safe to alchemize into other nourishment for this body. I don't want to banish you. I just want to alchemize you. Thank you for all you've done. You're now safe we're all safe now in this experience being held by me, by this mothering or fathering, however you identify with it, figure. Because it could really be either, we know the mother's the nourisher, but the father's the protector, but they also can mix and be both, so whatever resonates with you. Anyways, the last thing I'll say on this topic, and this is a bit of a psychic experience for you, is that the reason I'm making this video is because I was in a deep meditation doing this practice with myself. And as I was cleansing out energy and calling in new energy, I had an essence, an energy, a being of a dragon come. And the thing I've come to realize about dragons is that they really are like spirits on the earth, and they're really guardians and protectors of the earth. And so I like to share my psychic experiences openly on this channel because I truly believe that we're all psychics and we're all going through a shift, an energetic shift with the earth as she energetically shifts. And that is creating our psychic abilities, our psychic gifts to come back. We've already had them before in the past and they're coming back. And so maybe you resonate with these things. And so I would love to share openly about my experiences for whatever reason. If it nourishes you, if it helps you, if it makes you feel more open to experience and to have your own experiences or to talk about your own, whatever feels good to you. But so I had this energy of a dragon and he looked kind of dark and like this masculine and angry feeling. And I was like, first I was like, oh my God, I don't have time for this, which like is just a hilarious thing to think, right? And so I'm like, okay, breathe. I don't need to send this away. Also, it felt a little intense. So at first I was like, bad, Spanish it. And I'm like, no. This is my practice. I know that the body has a fear response to anything unknown. This is a new being. I've never met him before. So let me just pause for a second. I'm going to like put up a wall of protection. I just want to pause for a second and feel, does this actually feel like a negative being that wants to harm me? Or am I just scared because it's new and I'm anxious and these things? I'm like, okay, it's the second. So, okay, you can come, you can stand in front of me. I want space. You can be over there and then talk to me. Like, what do you need? And so he like came up and then he like opened his mouth and then he showed me like all through his mouth. And he was like showing me like down into like his intestinal tract. And I was like receiving at the same time all of these messages that just like I have had my own wounds in my own digestive tract and my own gut, which I think a lot of people are experiencing right now on Earth, there's also the collective consciousness of the Earth has its own wound, its own collective experience, its own digestive tract and gut wound. So just like how there's a collective female consciousness, which could be collectively holding all the pain of sexual abuse and feeling lesser than and these things. And then there's a collective masculine wound and all of these things. And you can feel into both. You could be experiencing both. But there's also a collective consciousness that's for all of us, right? And so he was telling me and showing me that in that collective consciousness is stored this gut wound, this digestive wound where we're all a lot of us have been experiencing things that I've experienced in my past, and it needs healed just like I need to heal my internal body. It needs to be seen and healed and loved and felt. And I'm not saying that I'm like the one do all that I can do it on my own. So if you feel called to like sit with the collective conscious and give it love, its internal body, its internal digestive system, love and nourishment and healing and asking it for forgiveness and all of whatever feels right to you, please do that. Okay, I really sat with that and I did it myself and it felt so wonderful. And the dragon was very grateful. And he was, again, showing me he's a guardian, a protector of the Earth's energy, and the collective consciousness is a part of the Earth's energy. It affects the Earth for sure. And so it was also the reason that then made me want to sit and do this video. I hope it resonates with you, or that you take something that resonates with you. Please always remember to just take what resonates with you. You are your own healer, your own psychic, your own guide, your own everything, okay? You are capable of doing everything you've ever wanted. I love you all so much. Have a wonderful, beautiful day.